When it comes to trends on social media, you know, there's only one girl that'll tell you what is trending. Olamide Odekunle is right here. It's time for trending.
I'm so flattered that you have so much confidence in me. I'm just one girl. I'm just doing my daily best. But I'll take it away. I'll see what I can do for you today.
Take it away.
Good morning, Nigeria. I like to say that TVC has a finger on the pulse and our eyes constantly on the streets. And here on the Trending Now segment, we do our best to bring you trending stories that are shaping the world that you and I live in. We begin today with this news. The management of the Oluseguns Obasanjo Presidential Library is demanding 3.5 billion naira in damages and a public apology from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, warning that legal action may follow. Recall that in the early hours of Saturday at about 2 a.m., the OOPL premises were allegedly invaded by a gang of over 50 armed men, shooting guns, threatening to kill people, and purporting to be EFCC operatives. The library claims that the team, reportedly led by a man identified only as Olakpade, targeted a private event at its amusement facility. And EFCC operatives reportedly stormed the Abeokuta complex, arresting 93 suspected internet fraudsters and seizing 18 vehicles alongside multiple devices. Several people were said to have been injured. Now, this is the OOPL's managing director, Vitalis Otese, addressing the press.
Restitution for the damage caused be made to those persons who were arrested and whose vehicles were carted away by the invasion force of the police and the EFCC, as well as for bodily injuries suffered by these persons, numbering at least 100 persons, be paid in the amount of at least 1 billion naira. We also demand that a further 2.5 billion or 2 billion and 500 million be paid in token acknowledgement and atonement for the immense damage caused to the reputation, business, and financial reputation, as well as to the reputation of our chief promoter, His Excellency Chief Oluseguns Obasanjo, GCFR. Finally, we have further instructed our lawyers that should these demands not be met in full within the next 7 days, starting from today, Wednesday, August 13th, 2025.
He also told journalists that the raid ignored the presence of police officers that were already stationed on the premises. He says that the EFCC showed a glaring lack of interagency collaboration. He's called for a transparent investigation into the matter and is warning that such actions undermined national security credibility and it put a lot of lives at risk. We've always said this, that even when there is perceived misconduct, there is always due process to follow. There is always a way that citizens should be treated. There should be protocol for these sorts of raids. Once again, people online, the public sentiment is calling on EFCC to clarify for us what constitutes a raid. Let's take a look at social media. Venom says, so because now Obasanjo get this library, the government no fit do their work. And Fola says, that arrest will affect the business in a huge way because no guys want to go there to chill any longer. That place is the most visited recreational center in Abeokuta. So which persons will want to go when they can be harassed by EFCC? I also want to say this. People were saying that EFCC suspected that they were Yahoo boys. What constitutes a Yahoo boy? Do you have a paper trail that shows that these people are engaged in fraud? Or is it just dreadlocks and a laptop? I pose you that question. But moving on, last month, the local council development area announced that Ajidagan Street had been renamed Olamide Adedeji Bado Street. And the popular Charly Boy bus stop was now Olamide Bado bus stop. Well, yesterday, Nigerian entertainer, veteran Charles Chukwuemeka Oputa, better known as Charly Boy, visited the newly renamed spot and had a good laugh at those behind this change. The 75-year-old, also known as Area Father, shared a video from his visit, joking that streets don't have age limits and that names may change, but his legacy is here to stay. He threw a lot of jabs and he poked fun. He said that if a bus stop can be renamed, then maybe an airport could be named after a DJ or the National Assembly rebranded as Comedy Central. Take a look at Area Father.
Well, guess where I am? Guess. Olamide Bado bus stop. That is what is called now. Yes. Everybody wave. Yes, nobody.
He also stressed that he's unbothered about this name change, saying that life is too short to stress over a bus stop name. He did look very stressed, though, especially when he's doing just fine. Let's take a look at social media. The story about says, I'm not trying to start anything, but was he this concerned about the place, or did he suddenly love it after it was taken away? And Internet Fun Thing says, all these ones talking, let Olamide just pass by. Their papa said go join Hail Badu. Very interesting. Moving on into the air, this flight is ready for takeoff from a prison cell to possibly becoming the face of good passenger conduct. That's the dramatic twist in Miss Comfort Emmanson's story. The Ibom Air passenger was jailed after an in-flight incident, and she regained her freedom yesterday following government intervention and the airline's withdrawal of its complaint. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, says that airline operators are now considering making Emmanson an ambassador for good passenger conduct, a symbolic unpaid role similar to positions handed out by past governments. The Fuji legend Kwam already holds a similar title as Aviation Security Ambassador after his own travel controversy. But speaking for the first time since her release, Emmanson said she's still in pain from her arrest and detention, but she thanked supporters for their prayers and promised to share her full account after she gets rest and some medical care. In a fresh twist on social media, she's also now been offered a 500,000 naira a month job and a fully funded luxury trip to Delta State by Osai Ovie Success, the founder of the Delta Social Media Summit. The package includes flights, 5-star hotel accommodation, tours of the state, and VIP access to the August 28th Social Media Summit. And this is an invitation that Osei says will help her unwind after her ordeal. Let's take a look at social media. Joshua says, your justification for appointing Kwam and Comfort Emmanson as ambassadors is deeply flawed. He's referring to Festus Keyamo. Labeling this as a community service doesn't hold water. Ambassadorship implies prestige, not penance, and undermines the rule of law. Globally, figures like P. Diddy face imprisonment despite remorse, reflecting a commitment to accountability that Nigeria seems to abandon for its elites. I'll take one more tweet. And Benny says, you're making a grave mistake. This will encourage more unruly behaviors in airlines or in airports. There will be more Kwam. After all, there may be appointed ambassadors in the future by the minister, FAN, or AON. This is really bad and setting a bad precedent. The law must be enforced without fear or favor. Team, this is very interesting. We know that sometimes, often, I remember in primary school, the most badly behaved student in class would be given class captain. And shortly after, they really would sit up and become this beacon of leadership and good behavior. Does that work in real society?
I don't think so, especially when majority of the populace still do not agree with this ambassadorship thing, even though you have explained that is a voluntary thing and it's like penance. But that name, ambassador, that I think that is what the problem is. And Mr. Sai, what are you looking for? Okay, Obasanjo Library, 3.5 billion. And, come on, man, Ria. It's an image thing for the ambassador. Obasanjo Library. It is an image thing, and that's why they are pushing so hard. I do understand what the managing director and the management of that organization is doing. I just hope you succeed.
Olamide, I love your stories today. I certainly love them. Well, I'll start with the Obasanjo Library. What we're saying is that it just looks like the reputation of the library. That's what you're looking at. But for me, I've always stood on the fact that, you know, that doesn't mean because it's your library, if criminals are there, they shouldn't be arrested. But then again, the way it was done, I think that that's what they have a problem with. Well, they take it to court and let's see how that pans out. And then talking about Charly Boy, they say area father know they talk too much. So I'm surprised to see him there looking so stressed because he never really goes there. So why is it that right now that it's now Olamide Bado, not your Olamide, please? Why is now Olamide Bado, you are now like going there and you looked really stressed and unhappy? I don't think you need this. As an area father, this is not what you need. You should just accept it. And also Olamide, you know, they will keep calling that place Charly Boy bus stop. It's very rare for them to even call it Olamide because that name is already used to Charly Boy. So they will always call it that Charly Boy bus stop. So I don't think he needed that. That was very petty, you know, area father, you don't need such. And then moving on to the story about, you know, making these people ambassadors. I don't know, but for me, it doesn't really sit well. I think maybe not the name ambassador. They should take out the ambassador because when you say somebody is an ambassador, you expect to see the person in a certain way. And I don't think, especially Comfort, you know, portrays that. And also, the Delta State man, what thing you they find?
Well, it is not, OPL, Obasanjo Presidential Library, is not the first place people have been suspected and then arrested afterwards. You know, we've seen different complexes, different places, buildings where foreign nationals, you know, a cartel had been arrested in terms of drugs, cyber fraud, etc. So one thing is they should also help the EFCC to check the to do the investigation if these people you know, actually committed some of these crimes, you know, suspected crimes or not, rather than saying that you want to arrest or, I'm sorry, you want to challenge, you know, the process. Whatever it is, let's all come together and fight corruption. Talk about Charly Boy, I saw the stress on his face. I felt that was petty, as you've said, Rhea, and he probably didn't need it. 75-year-old, you don't need it, just look away. Sometimes when things get at you, you feel like, oh, no, I'm not bothered, I'm not hungry, but then it's written all over your face. For, you know, Comfort, we reward bad behavior. People reward bad behavior, not just in Nigeria, everywhere in the world. We see what Israel is doing in Gaza, and we see what the West is saying about it, you know, killing women and children. So if this is happening, it's just infinitesimal. And we see how people also reward people in Big Brother Nigeria as well. So it's no big deal, whatever.
Indeed. Obasanjo Library, you know, it's a name matter, frankly speaking. However, let's recognize that it was a public space. And so for that, it means people can come in and do whatever they want to do, as long as it's within the ambit of the law. But if the EFCC or any other uniform agency needs to arrest any person from anywhere, the conduct and the manner with which you do it must be taken into consideration without destroying or having to destroy, you know, the property wherein you want to go and arrest anybody. So I think we should clarify that, and that should be ironed out in the court. Charly Boy has gained a name, a brand, and a legacy for himself. Whether he is named after a bus stop or any place else or not, it doesn't change who he is and what he represents and what he stands for. He is an inspiration to many young persons across the continent. And so I love the man. I've had a sit down with him before. And so, sir, I wouldn't think that you would have gone here to do this. However, and I know you were trying to catch fun, you know, but you are much bigger than that. Emmanson and Kwamwon and every other person, be good brand ambassadors and preach against the conduct you displayed at the airport. Simple.
Absolutely. And it seems that the concept of celebrity in today's society, it doesn't matter how you gain celebrity status, as long as you're on social media. If you see, her followers have gone up by about 50,000 overnight. Very interesting. I'll take some more stories. A new wave of young Nigerians is cashing out big from content creation, some earning millions on platforms like TikTok, often from international audiences. But whether or not Nigeria played a role in their rise, one thing remains clear: they are still Nigerian taxpayers. Popular TikTok creator Peller is the latest to cause debate after claiming the Lagos state government hit him with an excessive tax bill. Now, speaking during a live stream with the singer Peruzzi, Peller said that the Lagos State Internal Revenue Service demanded that wasn't having it. He argued that the government had never supported his TikToks, and he's rejecting this tax demand. He said they haven't even helped him once, and during his live sessions, they haven't even been supportive, and they're only targeting him because he openly flaunted his assets and earnings. He says, "I make my money from TikTok, not Nigeria," he insisted, and he's suggesting that this bill is very unfair to him. Take a look at what he had to say.
Somebody say task force. They told me I pay 36 million.
So you never pay
for tax. Me, me. I don't get anything, sir.
Why you never pay your tax?
I swear to my Allah, yes, sir.
But as a Nigerian, you don't pay your tax.
I don't blow Jesus. I don't blow me. I blow last year.
They don't want to know now. You know how much
they pay tax?
Why not pay?
How much?
I don't pay talk about.
Why?
So should be taxed based on their actual earnings, not their perceived wealth. The government needs to understand the digital economy and create fair tax policies. We have a very complicated relationship with Peller, but we love taking news from him. Moving on, still in the world of entertainment, media personality Toke Makinwa is stepping into a brand new role. Motherhood. The 40-year-old, who has often spoken openly about her desire to have children one day and even explored surrogacy, revealed her baby bump in a heartwarming video that's already melting hearts online. She called it the biggest project of her life and the highest calling ever. She also reflected on her years of waiting, the moments of doubt in between, and the faith that carried her through. She said, "Dear God, you did this one. You opened this door that nobody could shut." And she described the pregnancy as perfectly timed. Of course, her announcement has set social media abuzz. It's racked up more than 350,000 likes, 65,000 comments, with a flood of love from all her celebrity friends. I'm talking Funke Akindele, Simi, Timini, AY, Tony Abraham. Anybody you can think of was happy for her and shared their love. But for Toke, this journey wasn't quick. But she says that it was worth it. And she reminds young women that it's never too late to bank on God. Let's take a look at social media. Congratulations, ma'am. This was beautiful to watch. Deborah Tolu says, "Congratulations, Toke. One of life's greatest gifts is children. I'm super happy for you, and I'm praying that all expectant mothers receive their own gifts from God. Amen." DJ Identic says, "As long as God do for Sarah for Bible, God know when the time they right." Period. I couldn't have said it better myself.